So over the past few days, I've been using the latest monster Corsair is cooked up in the kitchen, and honestly, I don't need any more time with it to give you a detailed review. Here we have the new Virtuoso XT. As we all know, the Virtuoso everyone has seen so much of on this channel over the past year was an absolutely brilliant headset with the best microphone in the game to go along with it. This takes everything that was wrong with that headset and has taken it to another level. All the issues it had before in terms of it not being comfortable, it not having Bluetooth technology has been fixed, and from an engineering standpoint, they made this absolutely fantastic. Take a look at the design, for instance. Like its predecessor, it sports a similar sleek gunmetal look with a glossy finish on the ear cups that still has RGB. This particular version comes in a slight colorway for now, which looks amazing and fits the aesthetic that we're going for. However, they've now beefed up the padding everywhere. You still have pleather for these shallow ear cups and headband, but it's so much more comfortable than before. My ears can now forgive me as it rests on my head like a feather, even when using it for 8+ hours running Call of Duty Cold War and Warzone. Now hear me out for a second before you guys go crazy in the comment section. Yes, the ear cups are still rather shallow like before. However, what they've done now to indirectly fix this is they've made this headset wider and added a 10 more padding in that top headband. Now what this indirectly did was help offset the distance between cups, so these shallow ear cups are no longer squeezing you at the ears. Just look at how much of a wider gap now you have with the XT versus the previous Virtuoso. You're not as close as you were before to the audio plates inside, making this a much more comfortable headset. In the box, you get the headset with a wireless USB transmitter, a USB Type-C charging cable coming in at 6 feet in length, the detachable microphone, a 3.5mm cable, and you also get a carrying case. It's amazing. I haven't been this excited for a headset since I first heard Audeze was making the Penrose. But this, it's special. It has a much more distinct look and feel. You can take it pretty much anywhere with you and fit right in. The ear cups fold 180 degrees and lay flat, so whether you plan on throwing them in your travel case or wearing them around your neck, both ways offer convenience for a wide variety of scenarios. Now according to Corsair, this has about 60 feet of range, which I found to be pretty accurate in my testing. Sometimes I'll be listening to music down here in the studio while it's still connected to my game room PC, and that's about 50 or 60 feet away, and I haven't experienced any loss in coverage or connectivity issues yet, so I'd say it's fairly accurate. On the left ear cup, you have your ports for the 3.5mm cable, USB Type-C charging cable, and the port for the detachable microphone. On the right ear cup, you have your volume wheel, power switch for USB or wireless action, which also turns the headset on and off. And then you have another set of buttons to control the volume with Bluetooth separate from your game volume, which is amazing. Now you won't have to blow out your eardrums to be able to hear those on the phone with you when you're in a heated game of Apex or Warzone. For specs, you now have Bluetooth 5.0, Dolby Atmos support, and a 1500 mAh powered battery that gives you up to 15 hours of battery life and takes just a few hours to charge from 0 to 100%. It works with everything: Mac, Xbox, PC, your phone, PS5, everything. However, for Xbox, you will have to have this headset plugged into the controller through the 3.5mm cable, which isn't all that bad. Now you can use this headset while charging, and you can also use it while it's dead through its 3.5mm cable, which is definitely very useful. Just note that if you plan on using it while charging, the cable is only about 6 feet in length, which may not be long enough for some setups out there. The sound quality through Bluetooth and on console is decent. Typically in the past, when we've covered different wireless models, you'd notice a slight or significant drop in audio quality when shifting from the wireless transmitter to a 3.5mm cable, but that wasn't the case with this. In 90% of the instances I tested this through, you could hardly tell the difference when using them through either connection. Now you'll notice that when it's plugged into your PC, it definitely sounds a lot louder, it sounds a lot more crisp and clear, and overall sounds like a better headset, especially thanks to that Corsair software, so keep that in mind. I mean, sure, it only has 50mm drivers, which are half of what you get with the Audeze Penrose and Cloud Orbit S, but this just feels right. In comparison, I was able to hear footsteps clearly, where gunfights were going down, which way bullets were spraying from. It was truly an overall great experience. Alright guys, so now we're up here in the game room. This is a soundproof room for those of you that have never been here before. This is where I like testing out all the microphones on the headsets, the USB microphones, and so on. Now we're going to compare the Corsair Virtuoso XT versus 5 other headsets that I'm currently using. But the first thing I want to talk about is the noise isolation with this headset. It doesn't have active noise cancellation, and the isolation isn't the best. You can hear yourself talking, you can pretty much hear everything going on around you. Fans in the game room, up here I can hear cars driving by, I can hear all that stuff. So if isolation is a big thing for you guys, this is not your headset. The active noise cancellation you get with the JBL Quantum 800 is absolutely fantastic, and it would work much better than the Corsair Virtuoso XT. It's pretty standard, and it's similar to other headsets we've covered up here. You can just hear everything around you, so keep that in mind. Now, like I mentioned to you guys, currently I'm talking to you on the Shure MV7 microphone. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Corsair Virtuoso XT so you guys can see what this one sounds like in comparison. This is what the microphone quality sounds like on the Corsair Virtuoso XT gaming headset. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe, and only if you end up liking this video, please make sure you smash that like button for me. Now let's go ahead and compare the headset's microphone to the Audeze Penrose, the Corsair Virtuoso, the HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless, and the JBL Quantum 800. This is what the microphone quality sounds like on the Corsair Virtuoso XT gaming headset. This is what the microphone quality sounds like on the original Corsair Virtuoso gaming headset. This is what the microphone quality sounds like on the Audeze Mobius gaming headset. This is what the microphone quality sounds like on the JBL Quantum 800 gaming headset. This is what the microphone quality sounds like on the HyperX Cloud 2 wireless gaming headset. This is what the microphone quality sounds like on the Audeze Penrose gaming headset. Once again, this is what the microphone quality sounds like on the Corsair Virtuoso XT gaming headset. Once again, this is what the microphone quality sounds like on the original Corsair Virtuoso gaming headset. Once again, this is what the microphone quality sounds like on the Audeze Mobius gaming headset. Once again, this is what the microphone quality sounds like on the JBL Quantum 800 gaming headset. Once again, this is what the microphone quality sounds like on the HyperX Cloud 2 wireless gaming headset. Once again, this is what the microphone quality sounds like on the Audeze Penrose gaming headset. Let me know down below in the comments section which one of these you guys think sounds the best. Now, another test I always like doing for you guys up here in the game room is to see how much keyboard clicking the microphones on these headsets pick up. This is so much more comfortable now, honestly. I know it's just a small gap in between this one and the regular Corsair Virtuoso, but it makes all the difference, especially when you have a hat on. It's definitely not clamping you anymore like it was before, and your ears aren't touching the audio drivers inside the ear cups. So let's go ahead and see. I'm about 1.5 feet away from the keyboard. Let's see how much it picks up. It doesn't seem to be picking up that much in terms of keyboard clicking. This does have an omnidirectional mic, so it picks up a little bit more, obviously, when the noise gate opens up when I start talking, but other than that, it's pretty faint, so I'd say it's decent. Now, the next thing I want to cover for you guys is the software that you get with the Virtuoso XT. This is their new updated ICU software. So this one has, as you can see, the Virtuoso and the Virtuoso XT. It shows both receivers. If we click here on the Virtuoso XT, we can go ahead and start with the lighting effects. In terms of lighting effects, you have a ton of presets here you can play with, guys. This is all going to be personal preference. You want random colors with your lights. You want to turn it completely off and get a little bit more in terms of battery life, you can do that. Device settings. It shows you your firmware update here, status for your battery, brightness, sleep mode. This is also another dope feature. So if you set the headset down or if you're not using it, say for 10 minutes, it can turn off for you so you don't kill that battery. So that's another dope feature as well. Voice prompts, disable LED when the mic is active. As you guys can see right here, the mic, when you turn it off and on the bottom, there's a mute button, so it turns on. Green when you're talking, and you could adjust the color on this as well. And then as you can see, it's red when you're not talking, so you know when the mic is muted. Now, getting into the equalizer settings, to the left here you have your microphone volume, so you guys can set that. You can also control your side tone here. You can set up stereo mode. Whatever you want to do here, you can do that on the left side. Getting into the EQ presets, you have the Pure Direct, which is the one that you get right out of the box. Then you have your movie theater type vibe if you're watching movies or something like that. This is the best setting for that. FPS competition, it's decent, but it doesn't give me the bass that I need. You guys know I'm a bass guy. So after that, you have your clear chat. Then you have your bass boost. And the final one that I created, so you guys are probably wondering what are the best EQ settings for games like Warzone, Apex, and stuff like that. What I did was I took the bass boost, because I am bass heavy, and I pretty much lowered it just a little bit, raised the mids just a tad bit, the highs on the other side, I raised them as well, so I can get a nice crisp, clear sound, and I can still get that bass. Now, by no means is the bass and the sound quality on this headset even close to what you get with the JBL Quantum 800. That headset with the software is just on another level, guys. It's absolutely insane. It's crazy because you'll stop playing at the end of the night and you're going to go to bed and you could still feel like the explosions. It's crazy. It's as if you were actually inside the game. With this, it is much louder and much more powerful when you connect that USB transmitter to your PC. It's not as loud as when you connect it directly to your console. Whereas with the JBL Quantum 800, if you connect the receiver directly to your console or your PC, it doesn't matter. It's still super powerful. And that headset still, like I mentioned, will sound better even when it's plugged in through a wired connection than this headset does. But then again, you have the awesome microphone quality that you get with this headset. So this is the preset that I'm using for Call of Duty Warzone. If you guys are interested, you guys can go ahead and copy this. This is the one that I found to work the best, but obviously it's all going to come down to personal preference at the end of the day. Now, I've tried carrying over these settings from the wireless transmitter, whether I set the profiles on here and take it to my PS5, it does not carry them over. However, the RGB lighting does carry over, which, whatever, I don't know that many people that are so into the RGB lighting to where they have to have their setting exactly the proper way on their console and PC. It does carry over,
But the more important factor, the audio profiles do not carry over, especially when you connect this to a different device. Even if it's a different PC, none of those settings ever carry over. So keep that in mind, because I know a ton of you guys are always going to ask me that. So whether you guys are using this headset for streaming and recording, anything like that, I mean, the previous Corsair Virtuoso had the best mic in the game. This is just as good and now has Bluetooth functionality, and it sounds amazing. I mean, it sounds decent. It's just not as powerful as the JBL Quantum 800. And I've tested everything for you guys here on the channel. You guys know that. So whether you're talking to your friends in Discord, party chat, whether you're streaming, recording, whatever it is, that's what the microphone quality sounds like. And that's how much keyboard clicking it actually picks up.
So this comes in at $260, so it is a bit pricey, but for what you get, it's definitely worth that price point in my opinion. The JBL Quantum 800 is an absolute monster, and I've been using that daily for the past few weeks with no complaints, aside from the microphone not sounding the best and not being able to detach from the headset. The software you get with the 800 is much better, and the sound that it produces is also on another level. That model comes in at $60 to $100 less if you can find it on deal. It also does have active noise cancellation, which is something you don't get with the Corsair Virtuoso XT. However, that subpar microphone quality and it not detaching from the headset has me looking at the XT as a better overall fit for most people out there that are looking for that overall headset that does everything with a decent microphone. You also can't use the JBL Quantum 800 while charging. However, that may be somewhat irrelevant, seeing as to how you can use the JBL wired when the headset's dead and plug directly into your controller, and it still sounds better than the Virtuoso XT even when wired to a controller. And I mean much better. It's way more crisp and immersive, and the footsteps are also loud and clear. So from a comfort, noise isolation, and sound quality standpoint, the JBL Quantum 800 is a much better option in my opinion. On the other end of the spectrum, you have the Audeze Penrose with much more powerful 100mm planar magnetic drivers at $300, which is another headset I love as well, but in terms of build quality and microphone quality, again, comes up short against the Corsair Virtuoso XT. It looks like it's all gonna boil down to the microphone and design of the headset for most people. For me, I use a separate XLR microphone anyway, so I don't need a good headset mic. However, I would like to make one thing clear. If I'm playing competitive and I need to hear footsteps, for my wired connections, I'm using the HyperX Cloud Orbit S and the Audeze Mobius, and for my wireless option, I'm still rocking the JBL Quantum 800. Which one are you rocking with? Let me know down below, where you'll also find the links to all the headsets that we covered in today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you smash that like button for me and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.